Hi ladies, welcome to our Panimi. This is Saratova Best. Did you ever have that feeling of asking yourself after you've made a decision, maybe weeks or years later, what was I thinking? How did I make that decision? How did I come to that conclusion? It was so off. It was so myopic. But I look back on it now, I look at it and I think, I don't understand. What was I thinking? Why did I not have the clarity at that moment that I have now? My entire life would have been different had I made the decision the better way, if I had just thought clearly. Pretty common, right? If you're a regretter, it's even harder. Some people are not regretters. But when we ask ourselves this, and sometimes we might feel that it's just us, we want to realize that this is a national issue. This is a Jewish issue. It's not just a personal thing. It happened way back in history. There's an energy that where it's rooted, and it happens to be in this week's Parsha, and then there's a solution. So if we feel alone with this messy thing of making poor decisions, we have the problem and the solution in this week's Parsha. And the circumstances were, Moses, Moshe Rabbeinu, was told that his job is to take us into the land of Israel, to settle it, conquer it, settle it, live there, it's ours, own it, spread light, spread the light of Hashem and the light of Mashiach in the entire world from that place. It's Eretz HaKodesh. And he knew one thing. When you move into a home, and a permanent home, you need to be happy. You need to like it. You know that there were situations where men wanted to buy homes for their family, and they saw a particular piece of real estate, wrote to the Lubavitch Rebbe and asked, does the Rebbe think that this is a good place a good home to buy? And often, maybe always, I don't know, let's say often, the Rebbe would answer, ask your wife. Does your wife like it? If your wife is not happy there, it's not going to be a home. So when you go to your home and your real home, you need to be happy there. We were going to our home, Eretz Yisrael. We were going to make it into a holy land. We were going to turn it in from Eretz Canaan, a really unholy place, to Eretz Canaan, a very holy land. And it was going to be forever. And we needed to like it. So Moses knew that he needs to take us there, not by force, not by shoulding, oh, you should, you really have to, you'll like it, just do it. That wasn't going to work. This is ultimate geula. We needed to go there wanting to. We needed to have an appetite to be there. So what did he do? He chose 12 men, the head of each tribe, and he sent them to the land. And we know the story of what are officially called the spies. They went to see the land. And their job was to come back and tell us what they saw. To come back with good news, get us all excited so that we would say, let's go now. Why wait? Let's go now. And there were 12 representatives chosen because each shevet, each tribe knew, each head of the tribe knew what his own tribe likes and what they're looking for. Shevet Yisachar, the tribe of Yisachar, they like to sit and learn Torah. Shevet Zvulun, they like to do business. This is what they were about. Imagine if people come back and say, oh, I saw the land of Israel. It was amazing. All you have is quiet forests everywhere. Zvulun would say, thanks, but no thanks. We kind of want to be near the seaside so that we can do business and send our ships out easily. Don't give us any forests, thanks. Or if people had come back and said, it's amazing. Everything is hustling, bustling, right near the seaside. You can send out your ships. Yisachar would have said, we need a quiet place to just sit and study Torah. We're not interested in hustle and bustle. Thanks, but no thanks. So every head, every nasi, every leader of every tribe was on the lookout for what would attract his tribe. And of course, everyone had what was appealing to them in the land of Israel. So all 12 together, each one was looking out for his tribe and was there to come back with amazingly good news. What went wrong? They came back with really bad news, didn't they? Everybody cried that night when they came back and said, it's a crazy place. It's a crazy place. So what went wrong? And what went wrong is the following. Moshe Rabbeinu sent them with 3 questions. Find out what the people are like. What's their size? What are they like? Do the cities have walls around them? What are the people like? What are the cities like? Do they have walls around them? What are the fruits like? Now, between you and me, we know that Moshe Rabbeinu knew, he's Moshe Rabbeinu. He knew what they were going to see. It wasn't a question what they were going to see. He knew what information, what the facts were. So we asked the question. Of course, we know the Meraglim, the people came back and said, these people are giants, and they have no walls around their cities, and the fruits are giant fruits. This was a known thing to Moses. So why did he send them? You send them to come back with these facts to get everybody excited, but it's going to depress them. What are you doing? What's going on? And one other piece, why the size of the people? They're giants. We wonder, are they big or small? Why? What about the cities? If they have walls around their cities, they're somewhat afraid. If they have no walls around their cities, these people are fearless. And the fruit. So of course they came back. The spies came back. The Meraglim came back and said, the people are giants. The people are fearless. They're fearless giants. And these are the fruits of the land. And everyone fell apart. Or at least I guess the men fell apart. Oh no, it's terrible. What are we going to do? This is a disaster. What are we going to do? Oh no. And we cried. It's awful. We'll never make it. They will eat us up. They will devour us. We're like little grasshoppers. The Meraglim said we were like grasshoppers. We were like little ants. They could stamp on us. We're nothing in their eyes. They'll devour us. It's a frightening place to go. Why are we going there? That was the conclusion. So it's really confusing. And God seems to have said, hey guys, he probably didn't say hey guys, doesn't kind of look like you have the mindset in which you're really set up to go into the land of Israel and live the life of living a physical life in a physical land where you perceive godliness and perceive the potential in a very expansive, godly way. Doesn't look like you're quite up to the job yet. You need some mindset work. You need to do some mindset work before you step into that job. So you're going to spend another 40 years preparing to go into Israel, but it wouldn't be a good idea to go now. You'll wander for 40 years in the desert and we'll put you through the boot camp. Not now. Won't work if you go now. What you need to be to step into that way of being in the land of Israel requires a way of seeing reality that you need some work on. Okay, we understand. So there we were for 40 years. But here's the question. So why did Moshe Rabbeinu send us? He knew this. He knew what they would see. Why did he send us? And here's the really beautiful, amazing clincher that is a massive life skill for us right here, right now. He was essentially saying, guys, there's one piece of information that if you add it to the picture, it changes everything. Because, and I'm going to say, we know scientifically that when we look at something, right now I'm looking at a camera. It creates a picture on my retina. That doesn't mean anything to me. It simply creates, there's a photo of the camera, let's say I'm looking at the wire that comes out of my camera. It just creates a picture on my eye, on my retina, I think. And then it goes to my brain for interpretation. And it asks, what am I seeing? And it does a scan in my brain. What is that? If there's information there, it says it's a wire for the microphone from your camera. Oh, says my brain. And then another question comes up. Does another scan. Is a wire good or bad? And depending what I have in my head, I'll come up with a conclusion one way or another. And sometimes if I add one more piece of information, it will change the entire interpretation. So Moshe Rabbeinu was implying, and what he knew was the following. There's one piece of information that had you added it to the interpretation when you saw the giant fearless people in Eretz Canaan with the giant fruits, there was one piece of information that you forgot. It would have changed everything. What did you forget? You forgot that I told you that God said that the land is yours. And that if we just show up at the border, he will fight the war for us. We just have to show up. He will do the whole job. We will go in fairly effortlessly. We simply have to trust him and know that it is ours, not only now, but forever. This land belongs to us, not to the Canaanim, to us. And therefore, if we had added this one piece of information, we would have said the following. Oh my goodness, if this land can grow simple old regular Canaanim who do not belong in this land, if it can grow these Canaanim into fearless giants, can you imagine what it will do for us when we come there? We are the people that belong there. It is ours. It's able to grow. It's an amazing land. It's able to grow Canaanim into giants who are fearless. Can you imagine who we will become when we go there? Wow. Let's go now. That was the conclusion that we were supposed to come up with. That was what Moshe Rabbeinu had hopes for. But we didn't. So ladies, perhaps we can take on the following homework. To ask ourselves, when I look at anything in life and I come up with a negative, dark conclusion, oh no, it's not going to work, oh, I know it. Might we have one piece of information that we have to add to it? And that if we add this piece to the mix, might it not change everything else in the story, everything else in the interpretation? And if that changes it, will it not change everything in our lives after that and move us in a most unbelievable, miraculous way from a place of darkness to a place of light, from a place of gullus, where we live in that gullus, to living in an expansive geula because we've interpreted our facts in the way that we were always intended to. And with that, we can do a rectification, a tikkun, for all that happened then. And we can do it now like that. And surely we will. And surely we will step into that place where we can walk effortlessly into Eretz Yisrael and take it over and live there in the Gula Mitzvah Shleiman. And may it be immediately now. Thanks so much.